Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
How are you enjoying your new fighting game, Fliz?
He loves it.
No, we'll talk about that.
Oh wait, you know what we had to start out with, actually, because you promised you would start out with it on this episode.
Oh, Erenshor.
Yeah, your Erenshor adventures.
I did. Okay, hold on.
I did.
So when we talked about it, I had looked at the demo and then I played it and put the recording for the video. Now I can come back and say I finished the demo. After the demo, went and bought the real game. I started it up and then I got caught up watching what I was watching and just left it on for a while. So I didn't actually really do much. I went to the new place. That's what I did. Yeah, kind of. I just set the followers to like go fight stuff and bring me more XP and stuff so I could start off a little stronger than necessary.
You do work for me.
I pretty much. What do I have to say about Erenshor? I was really harsh on it the first time we talked about it. I actually think it has its place. It's nice. It's very at least the demo like made me think like it's kind of streamlined. And one thing it does kind of well is if you have extensive game knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't tell you exactly where to go or what to do, but if you like think about it in the logic of all the other games you've played, you can kind of figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Right. Which is kind of it makes you feel smart. And then I played as a druid, I think it is. So it was kind of like, I've never played Pikmin, but it's how I feel Pikmin is, where you just like gather your things and send them at something. You just kind of sit in the back and let them do work.
Go, my child soldier.
Pretty much. I sent him in and man, Scrubby was my boy. He was always yelling in third person. I like Scrubby.
Dude, there's actually memes about Scrubby, like in the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scrubby was easily my favorite character. He would just be like, psst, Scrubby needs that ring. I'm like, you got it, Scrubby.
That's wild, actually. Yeah, there's so many memes about Scrubby in the Discord. Everyone loves Scrubby.
I haven't met Scrubby yet.
I'm glad he's in the demo. Scrubby's great. I like Scrubby. He makes the game so much more fun. He's definitely role playing. I feel like that's how Scrubby is in person. I feel like Scrubby sits at his PC like Scrubby's gonna get another level today. You just watch. I mean, he's ready to go. We talked about last time
he did base them on people he's met before. So
isn't Scrubby from Futurama too?
I don't.
It sounds familiar.
Well, you're thinking of the janitor.
No, Scruffy. His name is Scruffy. Yeah, Scruffy talks like that.
Scruffy's the war declared guy.
War declared. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
That's a different guy.
That's the janitor.
No, Scruffy's no, it's not the janitor. I bet it's the same voice actor.
It might be.
It's not the same character. Trust me, I've seen enough Futurama. If I'm wrong, let lightning strike me right now. Oh. Cool, we're good.
Not even a second in between.
No, because lightning's quick. Yeah,
that'd be fair.
I've seen the movie. He won the race. I know how that goes. Yeah, there's some cool things about it. Like, I think one of my favorite things is it takes the pressure. This is weird, right? But I have, as a tank player, like I'd feel pressure going into dungeons and things in Final Fantasy, right? And, although the game's easy and there was like no chance I would die and nobody really cares except me, there's still like a little bit of pressure there of like, I gotta lead the charge. I gotta do this. In this game, like you can just do a dungeon and like, they're not real people, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter on that front. Also, if I want to just do something else for a while, like in real life, I can just get up and walk away and it doesn't matter, right? Like nothing's in real time kind of. So there's that sense of pressure is gone. I'm not competing with anybody. If you like how a MMO plays, but you don't like people, this is kind of great.
But you don't like people.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's marketed for. Single player MMO. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I didn't say, but I might have said in the comments because the dev responded to us. He was happy with it. We appreciate the comment.
Hey,
I said I started playing the demo and then I just didn't stop. Like I meant to get like an hour of footage for the video and then I just kept playing it because I'm like, oh, I need to get this key mold and I need to make the key and I need to go do this thing. And look at that big thing over there. I bet I can fight it. And then I'll kite it over to somebody who's stronger and he'll fight it and I'll get the drop. Like I was having a little bit of fun with it.
yeah.
One problem I did have is when my teammates died, I couldn't res them. I don't know how to res them. They just stayed dead. And eventually I went and died too, just to reset everything. So there might be a way. I haven't looked it up. I looked up nothing about the game.
I had that happen and I just ran away until that thing's de-aggro and I ran back and I got back up and I was like, I don't know how to properly res you, but I guess that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Cowardice.
I just died, and Lionel, you were saying you could probably just leave the instance and go somewhere else and get a little res or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Is if like I couldn't go back to them because whatever I was fighting would just kill me. I'd just leave the area and they would come with me and they'd be resed again.
Oh. Yeah, I like it when I have more. There's a lot of stuff out right now and a lot of stuff I'm trying to get to. There's a lot of good shit out right now.
I said I've been juggling like 3 different games at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't even have time to play any of it. It's too much.
Oh, sorry, 4 because we keep going back to Marvel.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Except it's not because Marvel's every game I'm playing lately is making me mad. But I guess we'll get to that on episode 45 of the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. Thank you all so much for joining me.
God.
It's a pleasure to have you, gentlemen. I'm Fliz, your host. I'm joined by Tsun, Kylar, and today we have special guest Sleepy because Strider is hiding from the thunder that's outside his house.
Really sounds different today.
Very different person.
Yeah, he's just a little bit. Yeah, Strider's not joining us. He'll be back next week for sure. But yeah, Sleepy's our friend of a long time. He's a streamer sometimes. He plays a lot of games. He's a pretty good guy. I don't like it when we swear too much, but that's all right. It's too bad. It's our podcast.
Nah, he yells at me. He made me cry one time.
He called you stinky. He was kind of mean.
Yeah.
It was very mean.
How was y'all day today, gentlemen?
Pretty good. Just kind of went to work and chilled out. I've been playing Melvor Idol again because I guess they're coming out with a sequel.
Yeah, Melvor 2.
Yeah, so I've been playing Melvor again. Hate this game.
That's the Idol game, right?
Yeah.
It's basically like Idle RuneScape, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The reason I hate Melvor is because I have terrible luck when it comes to video games. Like, if Strider was here, he would tell you that my luck is terrible. Anything that requires like a percentage of something dropping, it will not happen for me until like God knows when. Right? Monster is the same way too. It sucks. To give you an idea, the reason I stopped playing this game is because I needed a single drop from one enemy, and I grinded that enemy for, not even joking, like you can look up my playtime in Melvor, 3,000 hours I grinded for this one item. I never got it.
Still haven't got it?
I still haven't gotten it yet. No.
Now, does grinding in that game just mean leaving it on?
Yeah.
I worked so hard for this. My power bill.
I've left it on for 3,000 hours. Like not just like had the game closed, because it also tracks your offline progress too. But I've had the game open on my computer for 3,000 hours and it did not drop.
What is the drop rate?
Let me look it up real quick. Hang on. It's not that low.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I popped up Steam the other day. I think it was last night. And I was like, "What? I always playing Melvor. When did we start doing that again?" All these great games out. This motherfucker playing a Melvor. All right.
I was trying to get the Sanguine Blade, which is a 0.22% drop rate. So 1 in 461 chance to get.
Oh, your luck sucks. That's not even the game. That's
Yes.
you.
I know. Like,
You
it was
roll a low
insane.
luck stat, dude.
Yeah, you must have pissed off a witch in a past life. What's wrong with you?
I must have. And yeah, no, and then eventually I just stopped playing the game. And the funny part was, like, I just wanted the sword. Like, I don't need it. I think it's actually worse than the one that I have right now. I just wanted the sword just because, like, I was trying to collect all the different weapons and stuff. And I was like, oh, that seems pretty cool. Never got it. Still haven't.
I think there's like a witch in the 1800s looking at one of your ancestors. Melvor. What does that mean? You'll find out. Melvor.
My current playtime is 3,398.3 hours in the game. 3,000 of that was dedicated to getting a sanguine blade. And I never fucking got it.
You could have gotten like certifications in something.
Oh my god, I'm just remembering how mad I was. I would wake up like every day. Like, did I get it? No. Did
It's a
I get
college
it?
semester
No.
right there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I got a couple little things. So I guess I'll just get us started. One thing that's making me sad, I've been watching The Last of Us on HBO.
Oh
Yeah.
no. What?
Why is it making you sad?
Because look, I watched the first season. It's fantastic. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but
Did they botch
it
it?
follows the game. It's so the first season is like excellent television. And I'm not even a TV guy. Like, I'll watch anime, I'll watch some movies sometimes, but TV tends to put me right to sleep.
Mhm.
It's so good, and it follows basically the game, except anything that they thought wasn't like anything they thought they could do better, and they have a really good eye for this, they would like change it to do it better, right? But
Yeah.
other than that, they pretty much left it as is. Like, it's pretty beat for beat the same as the game, just really well acted and live action, all that. The second season is out. I've seen the first 2 episodes. And it follows This Is the Last of Us Part 2. So the first season, first game, second season, second game.
Ugh.
I never played the second game, but
Ugh.
I know what happens. I'm not going to spoil it. My wife was mad as fuck. But the
Is it the start of the second game? Is that what made you
we're on the
mad?
second episode,
dude,
and she'll
I fucking hate that shit. I hate what they did.
Oh.
It's so stupid.
yeah.
It's out of
She
character.
like she just sat there. She just sat there watching the credits roll and like was looking for extras to be like, no, this isn't what happened. No, come on, what? No.
And so did they do it one for one with the start of the second game so far?
I never played the second game, but I imagine so. I
Because if
looked
they
up
did,
the
then
wiki.
yeah, I know exactly why you'd be pissed off because it pissed
I
me the
wanna
fuck off.
know.
Well, too bad. I'm not going to spoil it anyway, because that's not the point of my conversation. The point of my conversation is this poor girl who they've chosen to play Ellie. Like, the hate I see for her it's mind blowing. People fucking hate her, and
Why?
and the thing is, her acting she's great. It's because she doesn't look conventionally as attractive as people would want her to be.
Oh, I think the
And
same
it's
thing actually
ridiculous.
happened when I can't remember what the other character's name is. The other, I guess you could say, main character of the second game.
Abby.
Abby, yeah. I know that Abby in the game, her actress also caught flack for that same reason.
Really? In
Yeah.
the game?
Yeah,
Or
like
the actress in the
people
show?
People were ripping on her because of her appearance or something. But there was also, I don't know, this is
I
a bunch of
think-
shit.
I think it's because in the game she was jacked, and in the show she's just like regular girl. That might be what it was.
I think it was more so they gave her they blew up, like they made her more like she's fit, but they made her jacked and even more jacked than that in the game, and which is weird. Like,
No. I can't, I can't remember the controversy exactly, but I remember it was frustrating then because the game is about the story, it's not about making you like the actually, I don't know. I wish I played the second one. I feel like the whole point of the second one was from what I've read, it feels like the idea of the second one was to make you hate a character and then have you sympathize with them at the end.
I was gonna bring that up. So I was gonna bring because I have watched stuff on this. one of the most convincing arguments I've seen so far is it seems like they were doing their best to make Ellie look like the bad guy and make you like Abby.
Which is just interesting storytelling, you know, if you're just looking at it from a storytelling perspective.
But
It's not a conventional story. And obviously from, you know, this second episode, what were you going to say?
oh, it's just weird because like just the parallels they'll have the two do, and it's just like, how could you? What are you trying to do? Because like they'll have one character do a horrible thing and be sad about it, and it's the one you're supposed to hate, and the other character will do something and revel in it, and it's like, this is the one you're supposed to like.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is I kind of read ahead in the story, and it seems like you follow the other character and you learned that why they did what they did, and you know what the point of it all was, and in the end it's kind of like all these horrible things happening, but in the end they're just people, and people do fucked up things no matter who you are, no matter whoever your favorite person is. I guarantee you they've done some terrible shit. But that's not even the point. The point is people are bashing on this poor girl because of her looks, basically. And it's just, I'm so sick of this fucking chud. The same thing is kind of happening with Oblivion, where like there's like this whole
this vibrancy thing.
No. This is the whole like male female
okay.
just like all this nonsense.
That was my
that's
next guess.
Yeah, it's it's all these people, and it really made me feel like I don't really want to bitch about video games anymore.
You're talking
even
about
though
the
I'm
whole
gonna bitch about one.
body type 1, body type 2, woke shit crap and all that.
There's this whole anti-woke movement we talked about a little bit on the real game awards, and I just can't believe that people invest this much time and energy into something that they didn't make. It's not, you had nothing to do with it,
Also,
and yet you're.
How does it physically like harming them? It's not. If you don't like it, you don't have to engage with it.
No, they don't, and it just makes me think like, does everybody just want games with like Arnold Schwarzenegger and like Pamela Anderson as your characters?
We'll say,
and that's it.
having a game with Arnold would be fun, but
yeah, it would. He was in the Terminator. Did you? Or no, the Mortal Kombat. You didn't play that though.
No, I didn't play that one, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it was him as Terminator.
I don't think it was even his voice acting.
Did you see that pixel animated Terminator 2 game that they're coming out with? That looks cool. Looks like Contra. I'm kind of want to play when it comes out. I showed you guys the trailer, I think, a while back, but it looks really cool.
I know what you're talking about. I'm just looking it up real quick. Is it
Sort of
Survivors?
remember it.
Or no Fate.
Yeah, something about
This
Fate.
is throwing like
Anyway,
multiple
that's not the
games.
point. The point is like I don't know. I just hate like this culture of anti-woke nonsense, and you know, it's the same thing with people railing on Dustborn, which that game is not for me, but it's also not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a game for a different audience. It doesn't mean I have to hate it or hate the I don't know. There's a lot of my Twitter is full of all this horrible anti-woke game journalism nonsense that's just games. It's just games. Like just don't play it. Do something else with your time. Yeah, but I feel because that girl is really good in the show, and people are just nasty to her. So anyway, I hope she does well. I hope this doesn't affect her in the long run, because you know I remember streaming. Even somebody coming in saying something a little messed up can ruin your day, and to wake up to that every day on Twitter must be a nightmare. So
you know, we've seen some interesting stuff.
I've definitely had my fair share of things I wish people hadn't have done. But anyway, different subject. I didn't play a lot of the new games that came out. What I did play was Fatal Fury City of Wolves. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I played with Sleepy here. I really wanted to play this game. This is the first like Fatal Fury in 20 something years. It's a fighting game, so if you don't care about fighting games, skip ahead, I guess. But I love fighting games. I wanted to like this so bad. I really, really did. And you know what, Sleepy, what do you think of it? We'll go with you. What do you before I get into my nonsense, what do you got?
So like you said before, it's been 20 something years since I've done this. game, and I think it's just there are parts about it that I like and it feels good. And then there's parts about it that feel a bit messy.
Yeah.
And I see that mostly within playing the characters.
As far as what?
Like, I pick up a controller, I play some of the characters, and some of the characters, I'm like, yeah, okay. I see what they do. I see, like, in Tekken 8, how I decided to play my character was how they felt. But all of them felt very well, and I could somewhat recognize how they played.
Yeah.
When I moved to Fatal Fury, that was a little more not there. The characters that felt good were fine, but the characters that I didn't vibe with they don't feel complete. It feels like there's something missing from them.
It's similar to how I felt, because look, the game, this is that kind of joke that everybody was railing on for, because this is the one that has like Ronaldo Cristiano. I don't know his name. That might be the soccer player. Christian Ronaldo. I don't follow football. But the big pull for me was they had Salvatore Ganacci, and I'm a huge fan. I love his music. I love his attitude. I love his videos. I think he's just a fantastic entertainer, and he's in the game. And I was like, I gotta play it, right? And so Strider was nice enough to toss the game my way, and he's like, go be your man. And I played it, and I do not like that character whatsoever. He's like a weird stance character. Definitely not somebody you should start out with. And I tried for hours to make it work. And I can't look. I played Tekken. I got into Tekken immediately with King. I played Street Fighter. I got into it immediately with Zangief and Marissa. I got into Guilty Gear with Potemkin. Like I all these other games, like I got into it with somebody right away, and it felt really good. This game does not have it for me. I did eventually switch to Tzok, the grappler, and part of me feels like I fucked myself over, right? Because I did a thing where
you totally did. No offense, but you totally did.
I did. Okay, so my review is a little biased. So before it asked you in the beginning, it's like, hey, how good are you at fighting games? Like, how experienced are you? And I said, I'm very experienced, because I am. I've played quite a bit, right? And so it put me in like some rank or whatever.
It was like
and
B3 or something like that.
It was too high for me, considering I've never played a Fatal Fury game. I got in there. I think I've played like 20 rank masters and lost every single one of them, like by a lot. Did I?
Yeah, I watched. I was there. You were like, I won one.
Oh,
actually,
maybe.
I think it was against a guy playing Ganacci.
Maybe. All I know is these people are like teabagging and styling on me. Like, I am not prepared for where I'm at. I almost want to like uninstall the game or delete my game data so I can undo that, because that fucked up everything. I feel so terrible playing that game. And also starting with Salvatore was a bad choice. He's a very weird character that is not like any of the other characters I've ever played. The things I know I don't like any of the music. I think the music is way below Tekken, or absolutely below Guilty Gear, maybe even Street Fighter. I don't like any of it. It feels like, because I'd scroll through every track. Now there's like a little drum beat that goes before the verses screen, and then it cuts into the song. I've just taken that drum beat and like made that my battle music, because nothing else feels it's all kind of the music whack, the characters whack. I do not like the characters. They're all ugly as shit. The art style is interesting, but if I know fighting game players, I've looked up some other people and they're like, this is a great game and it's for fighting game players. Like the inputs are hard. You got to know a lot about, they really seem to like this game. I don't think it's for me at all. I don't want to be Kevin or Billy. I just don't.
You want to be Billy?
No.
Be the biggest
I
Billy.
don't want to be
guy.
Really big Billy. Biggest big Billy.
But
no,
Terry.
I don't want to be Billy.
Be Terry.
Terry's like the regular. If you don't know the game, Terry Bogard, if you've seen him before, the guy with the hat, he's from this series of games. He's their kind of flagship. There's a lot of what is it? What are Ryu characters called? Shonen.
Shoto.
Is that what you call
Shoto,
them?
yeah.
Shoto. Okay, yeah, those guys. It feels like there's a lot of those, like half the cast maybe so far. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's like five Shoto characters. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it. Every time I turn it on, I just get mad. I will kill the game data and restart, and maybe that'll, because just losing over and over again is not a great way to start a game.
No, probably not. Definitely will color your opinion a little bit.
Yeah, and some of the characters, like what was the character you were playing that's like the kickboxing girl with glasses?
Oh, Prisha.
I think that character model looks so weird. Her head is huge. It's very strange. I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know. It plays, there's obviously differences, but it plays a lot like Street Fighter, more so than the other games I've played. Yeah, I don't know if I feel bad because Strider's like, here, have fun. And I'm like, I'm not having fun. This
Oh my
is
God.
not my jam.
You are right. Her head is enormous compared to her body.
Okay, it looks so weird. There's something wrong with that character model. It drives me insane.
know,
I'm not
maybe-
about it.
Maybe her body is just really tiny because her hands look huge too compared to the rest of her body.
Yeah.
Something's
I couldn't
off.
tell you.
Like something is.
And it feels like, and the voice acting is terrible. I don't know what they decided to do there, but the game visually and on an audio level feels archaic. Like it feels like it should have came out 5-10 years ago. And that's got nothing to do with the combat system. The game might be great. I'm not feeling it and I can't wrap my head around it. So I'll give it another shot. But every time I play that game, I just get mad. I was getting mad yesterday. I was like yelling at the dogs and stuff. Shut up, I'm trying to win. I wasn't winning. Not working. I don't know. What you think, Sleepy? You gonna stick with it or you gonna go back to Tekken?
Well, right now, other than Tekken being a complete mess,
Oh yeah.
which if you want, I can get into later. But it's just getting into the game felt harder than picking up Street Fighter and Tekken, even like Guilty Gear a bit. Like picking up Guilty Gear felt a little more natural than picking up this game. I don't know whether or not it's just the mechanics, because when the game like was announced, they were talking about all these mechanics they added in, and I'm like, cool, but I feel like there's a bit too much.
Maybe. I go for it.
Yeah, there's just a bit too much that just feels like, okay, who is going to use this, and is this mechanic even going to be used when it gets to meta? Like there's this whole feint system that I haven't used, at least, and I kind of don't remember how to, even after going through the tutorial and using it. I don't know whether or not that's like a legitimate thing to do. And there's even more behind that.
It is. I watched some videos, and apparently for combos, like you can cancel out of things with a feint and then cancel the feint into another move, and it continues the combo faster than you could if you just ended the first move. So it's a really complicated game from what I can gather. Maybe not really, but more so than some other fighters we've played. But like, I'm right there with you, where this has been the most difficult to pick up game, fighting game, that out of fighters, out of Grand Blue's easy, but out of Tekken, like I thought Tekken was like hard to pick up. This is like, I'm struggling. I'm mad struggling. Yeah, I don't know. It's also strange because it's the first game of this kind to come out in so many years, and yet I'm fighting people who seem like they've been playing it the whole time, which feels really weird. So I don't, maybe there's this whole Fatal Fury community that I just don't know anything about, and that's fair. I don't know anything about this series whatsoever. I just saw a new fighting game with guy I like in it. Better try that out. since Tekken's a bust for now.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. So yeah, if you like fighting games, I guess give it a try. Just watch the timer for that 2-hour mark to return it to Steam. I missed it by 7 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah. I think there's like good stuff deep in Edith as well, and they have some good decisions. But honestly, maybe wait till it goes on sale for a bit less, because like, yes, you for the price you're paying, you're getting 5 DLC characters for free. But also, it's just whether or not you're going to immediately pick up this game and enjoy it, or whether or not, because we're coming in without really playing an SNK style game.
Never touched one.
And it doesn't feel like anything I've played in a normal, like, fighting game, like, going forward. And granted, like, I've had that before with Skullgirls, which is a much more complex fighting game as well. But I felt more viable to do things more in Skullgirls when I was first getting into fighting games than playing City of Wolves now.
Yeah, it's been real hard to get into. That's pretty much all. And that's, 100% a personal thing. I've heard a lot of the fighting game community really likes this. I'm just not part of that majority at the moment. I will try again, but for now I'm I like Tekken. I like Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
I don't know if I like this.
it sucks because even if I wanted to try it with you guys, it's $60. It's like,
I know. I wish I could just lend it to you. Like, Steam should have a rental. Like, you should be able to pay Steam $5 and let somebody borrow your game for a couple hours.
Then people
That'd be
do that
cool.
with sharing their game libraries.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't want to get into all that. I'm too lazy.
I think
It's too much.
I think within like the next 2 days or something, it will go down in price by $10. But that's it.
Really? Why?
Well,
Right now,
well,
it's
because-
in special edition for the sole purpose of the early access. I don't know if it's not early access anymore, but that was it. And I don't see anything about it. I thought it would drop, but I could be wrong.
I mean, the other part of that is like, you got to get your fan base interested in playing, because the game dies like harder than a lot of other fighting games die really hard if nobody, you can't find other people to play with. So you want as many people to have it as possible.
No, not like that one fighting game that we played that one time.
DNF Duel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? I had more fun at the start with DNF Duel than I'm having with this.
I did too. I remember I played that game and it was actually like a really fun time because like landing the combos as the grappler dude was so satisfying.
Oh yeah. The combos don't feel as satisfying in this, and I don't. Like I said, I feel like I'm missing some. Like I can't say this. It's not a bad game. I can't say that at all. I can't. I feel like I can't give like a real review of it though, because I feel like I'm missing some huge revelation that just hasn't occurred to me yet. So
The square
until I
button.
figure it out. Yeah, I'm missing the square button.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
I feel the same thing. Just even like dueling with you and trying the arcade mode, like just something isn't clicking with me. I don't know what it is.
But yeah, all right, we'll move on from that. I'm frustrated that I didn't immediately fall in love with it like I thought I would. So,
Whoa.
yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I just want to talk about that stuff now that my nonsense is out of the way. What you got, Kylar? I guess we're going with. That's usually how it goes.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So I got a few things here. Do you guys remember a few weeks ago? I think it was a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the tariffs and everything and how like board games were going
Yes.
to be like really difficult to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Stonemaier, who is a publisher of like various board games, including Wingspan, is suing the president.
Hell yeah.
Just-
Ooh, you can do that.
Just straight up suing the president because they had like a bunch of projects that were being have been printed and orders still being fulfilled in China.
But can't get now.
Well, they can, but it's going to cost them like a lot of money for everything that they do. Yeah, because it's all retroactive. So even though they put in the order like a long time before the tariffs went in, now they're all printed out, and now they just have to sit in a warehouse because it would literally cost them like almost more money to actually ship it than it would to do anything else and just keep it there. So they're kind of like, well, what do we do? Because we're kind of fucked.
I'd have to assume there's going to be a lot of people suing the president if something like that works. This is a board game company. Think about all the other tech companies out there who can't get the products they've ordered.
Yeah.
On a note to that, I've actually kickstarted, helped contribute to a board game on Kickstarter because I thought it would be, you know, something that would be an enjoyable game to play. Mm-hmm. And that's actually affecting them right now as well.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Like,
same.
Because it's like it's skyrocketed so much that it's like made it so hard for even just like a Kickstarter board game that originally was a lot easier to do, now immensely harder to hit.
Yep. Which one was it that you put in? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a board game called Dracula's Curse.
Dracula's Curse. Oh, geez. I actually also did the same thing. I'm part of the Kickstarter for Ryoko's Guide to the Yokai Realms for D&D.
Okay.
And luckily that was like super successful. So the person who made that has said like, we're aware of the tariffs, and I have no idea how that's going to go, but no matter what, we will not be increasing the price of anything. So don't worry about it. We'll take the hit. So,
oh, geez.
Yeah. But they made like over $3 million to help fund that. So that was like one of the most successful D&D projects on Kickstarter.
Dang.
So for everyone else, like, you know, even these huge companies that like make board games, that's what they do, are at the point where they just had to throw lawsuits around because Stonemaier has already said that they just have to keep all of their stuff in warehouses in China. And they're only going to like actually ship them if they run out of stock in the United States. Like that's the only way they're going to do it until this lawsuit goes through. And they haven't filed it yet. And they haven't gone into detail about exactly what their plan is to try to, you know, get a winning case over. But they did say they were going to file that at the end of the week, most likely. So we'll probably have more information later. But yeah, that is wild.
Man. I mean, I guess it's unfortunate for a lot of reasons. It's so hard. Why is it suddenly so hard to talk about video games and not get into politics? When did that become a thing?
They're trying to intertwine.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just how everything is moving forward. Like
everything's affected.
Yeah, everything like is moving forward, but at the same time, they're all moving forward in a certain direction where they're starting to get intertwined.
Yeah, it sucks.
Dang.
If I'm not playing a game about no politics, I don't want them in my game.
It kind of reminds me of like the old school original like ratings topic of like when Mortal Kombat and Night Trap came out, how like the government would ballistic over it.
Oh,
Did they? Why?
Yeah. Same thing with like GTA and stuff.
Yeah, they always
just
do.
became the hot button topic.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Kind of like news media outlets covering like oh, you could all this fucked up shit.
Video games caused the kid to do it, not his horrible living situation and terrible parents.
Also, they always gloss over the fact that they won't sell it to the kid. The parent to buy it for.
Yeah. We're not about logic in the States here. Don't worry about it.
I'm well aware.
Yep. There was, I don't have like we won't go super far into it, but there was an update on Karl Jobst and his recent loss in his case with
the Billy Mitchell thing.
With Billy Mitchell. Yeah, he did upload a video going over like exactly what happened and just kind of a response as well, just in totality. So
was it 3 hours long?
No, it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He is definitely going to try to appeal it. he did
of
say
course.
that. Yep, he is totally going to try to appeal it. He did clarify a few things, including how, like you were saying, people were really mad about the Kickstarter that he had done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people were really pissed about that. But the reason why, which I did not know, is because the reason he started the Kickstarter was not because of this one lawsuit. He was actually fine with it, but apparently there were multiple lawsuits that Billy was actually threatening him with. And that's where he's like, okay, I cannot fight off. I think there were like 5 in total, like 5 lawsuits.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, I cannot like financially sustain myself against 5 separate like cases. That's just not going to happen. So that's what the Kickstarter was for. And he did clarify too that like once he got the funds that he needed to do, that he needed to actually be able to pay for everything, he did stop the Kickstarter, which as far as I know is true. He did actually do that. He didn't keep it open or anything like that. He did stop it once he met the funds that he said he needed. So there's that going for him. But apparently Billy Mitchell was throwing like various lawsuits at him for just a bunch of different stuff. And that was one of the reasons why he was so confident, is because he wasn't 100% sure which lawsuit was going to be the one he was mainly going to be, defending against at the same time, as well as the judge's overall decision he thought was like mind boggling. And he wants to get an appeal because he just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And just compared it to like other reactions from other people, including the streamer. What's his name? I forget his name.
That one streamer
boy.
Penguin Zero.
Critical.
Critical.
Charlie.
There we go. Yeah, Critical. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. I just know him by Penguin Zero. Including just reactions by Critical as well to just show like how ridiculous of a conclusion this was by the judge. So there's more to the story. He's going to go for an appeal to it. Definitely watch the video if you're interested in it, just to kind of see more of his side. And that's all I have for that for now.
Do you think, like, what I'm curious about is how savvy the judge is to like internet culture and like what this kind of stuff really is. Like, is he just going like, oh, this is a libel or defamation or whatever, just, based on what he's seeing, or is he actually factoring in all the internet culture that's happening behind the scenes of?
I don't think he is, because one thing that he did bring up too, Karl did in his video, is some of the quotes from like YouTube comments that were in the case weren't even comments on his video. They were comments on like other people's, and they were basically using those and pointing and saying he's the source of it. Karl in this case. Yeah. So
wait, did they take YouTube comments and put them in a court case?
Yeah, they're in there. Like you can
throw
go
that
look
shit
it up.
in the trash.
Yeah.
You cannot use YouTube comments for anything. They're terrible, except ours. Our nice ones are the best.
Yeah, we have
but
really
those
good ones.
the regular YouTube comments are
Self-appeal.
straight garbage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, they're in there. Like they're quoted. You can go find them in the court documents.
That's crazy.
They were used because they were supposed to be proof that like, hey, like look at these are what people are saying because of this video. Like this shows that that he's like ruining Billy Mitchell's reputation, that people are believing him. And the problem was like, again, these are comments that aren't even like associated with his video in some contexts. Like they're not even comments of it.
They're also all like anonymous. Like it looks like I'm gonna get everybody by their username and actually bring them in.
Look, if Tom McDonald has positive comments on his videos, that means you can't trust YouTube comments for shit. Like that is atrocious. That's the you know who Tom McDonald is? Oh my gosh. He does all that like pro America rap that
he did a rap with Ben Shapiro for context.
Oh,
yeah, Ben Shapiro.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
weirdo.
gosh, that dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the other thing is like all the kids videos. If you go look at like the kids videos that have, and I have kids, there's a reason I've seen them, but the kids videos that have like millions of views and the comments on them are just like mashed keyboards from little kids trying to replay the video. Like YouTube comments ain't shit.
It's like anything and anyone can just make an account and say something. So it's like, how much can we take this into validity?
Well, apparently enough to screw over Jobst.
Like, it's so wild to me that it's gotten to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Off of just like YouTube documentaries, you know?
The fact that like they're using just YouTube stuff in general as evidence reconfirms the fact. I remind you that they did indeed use Critical's flatulence as evidence in a case somewhere.
I don't know.
Oh, that's great. I don't know.
I mean, now I'm thinking the flip side of that though is like it does destroy lives. Like you remember the Rebecca Black Friday video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that one. So it was YMS, Your Movie Sucks, and I think H3H3 maybe, and some like they blasted that video, right? And they also blasted the producer, which was that guy who he'd done that a couple times. He takes like parents are like, I want my kid to be a pop star, so he makes them a shitty pop song, sings in it. He's the hip hop dude who's doing a verse or something in there, and he's a producer. He does it all for him, like it's this factory made thing that it's this package he sells them, right?
Yeah.
And then people make all these videos about this guy's probably a pedophile. This guy's probably this and that. And it like destroyed his whole career and his whole life. And he just gets hate everywhere he goes. And all he did was make music videos for kids because their parents wanted it. So, these things do have real world effects. I know we're shitting on it like 5 minutes ago, but like there is an opposite side to it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of why I'm like torn about this whole case, because at the same time too, you have to ask, like, is it okay for Karl to be making like these videos about Billy Mitchell at the same time? Because ultimately, like, they are negative videos about him. The tone for it is very negative. If he tries to be factual, the whole problem and the reason for the case is because he didn't end up being wholly factual, which he acknowledges in that reply that like, he's definitely biased. It's hard to separate himself from it because of like all the stress and, everything that was going on with him.
He's getting sued by him a bunch. So that kind of lumps that in.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, and then again, you're looking again, do I really take YouTubers as like factual, journalists? I don't know.
Whose fault is that?
How far are we? Yeah.
Is it the YouTuber's fault or is it the people watching the YouTube videos?
Yeah, it's supposed to just be entertainment, right? Like,
it's just all a big mess. I feel like it's like one big gray area. I think I'm definitely leaning towards Karl being in the right. I think it's all silly, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Mitchell has kind of a rough track record as well, so it's hard to look past that.
I feel like him having to pay $500,000 is definitely not correct.
I was going to ask, is that how much it is? Like, is that how much he's getting?
Yeah, that's even before the lawyer fees too, because he has to pay Billy Mitchell's lawyer fees. So probably looking at $1 million.
Hope you made enough. I hope that YouTube video paid enough.
No, that's wild.
All over. I say I go fast in game.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll keep sipping the tea and see where that goes. Hopefully we'll know the truth in 10, 20 years.
Yeah. Beyond that, though, if we want to move on, Paradox Interactive has some interesting stuff going on. I don't know if you guys know who Paradox is.
I know Paradox.
Tell me.
They do many things.
They do many things. I said do. They make Crusader Kings 3.
God.
They make Stellaris. Yep. Some pretty big names in the grand strategy, and they are currently under a lot of flack because they are implementing a return to office policy for their employees.
Oh.
Yeah, and apparently a survey was done for the employees to kind of wonder, like, what's the general feel of the return to work policy. And I guess over 50% of the employees that were surveyed said that they may leave the company over a return to office policy.
Oh shit! Paradox did Pillars of Eternity. Like, this is
Age of Wonders, City Skylines. Like,
These guys have a great track
yeah.
record.
They're
also-
also heavy
that's-
hitter.
They're
Yeah.
also the ones that, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, if they ever comes the
Yep.
fuck out.
Well, not if everybody
And-
quits.
Yeah, not if everyone quits.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I think they just made like an announcement that they want to churn I think it's Victoria 3 is the name of the game. They want to make that like their next like live service. Like this is the game we focus on, make sure it's like constantly getting stuff and just
Yeah, they just
really,
released the expansion
really
pass, right?
supported. Yep. And now all half their companies say if you guys do this, we're gonna quit. Well, we may quit, but yeah. Kind of the issue with the return to office policies is whenever you work remotely, a lot of the times your employees tend to, not live in the same place when they were hired. So they actually physically cannot make it back to the office sometimes. That's a problem. Or you hire
was a
them
big issue.
as remote employees, so they could never actually make it to the office physically. So yeah,
That was the problem with Blizzard doing that, where like, cool, you want everybody to return to office. Nobody can afford to live where your office is based on what you're paying them.
Yep.
So what do you mean return to office? Nobody's there. Like, all right.
They
Yeah.
were never in office in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know about this on whether they're going to go through with it. I kind of hope not, because a lot of people are just going to quit and then all their games are going to kind of go down the toilet most likely, because you can't really expect half the company to work on, all of their games and still maintain the same level of quality or just anything really. So yeah, hopefully Paradox does not go through with it or just is able to change something.
You know what's funny is I see a lot of anti-work posts in quiet killing in Reddit. There's a bunch of quiet quitting or just hating on CEO, stuff like that. Every once in a while, I'll see a post that's like, unpopular opinion, I like being in the office. And I'm like, look at this fucking traitor. Like, have you guys ever worked in an office? It sucks. Why would anybody want to be in the office environment when you could work from home? That's crazy. And
Managers like working in an office.
I think I don't understand why anybody would want to piss off their entire workforce to make them come into somewhere they hate being to be more than likely less productive. Like,
Well,
if you give me a task and say, oh, go for it.
Well, it's because if you're the boss, you get to boss people around. They can't say anything to you.
I don't have anybody to boss around.
Yeah,
I don't like
honestly,
this.
you say it like it's a
Probably.
joke. That's probably totally a thing. I can't imagine it not being a thing. You know what I mean?
You're probably right. I've had managers where I'm like, oh, you're just a manager. Like, this is what you were born to do. You have the attitude. Like, you're not going to do any real work. You just want to manage people and then go play golf and bike ride with the fucking other guys who are making more money than you. Like,
Yep.
that's what you do. And if you can't do that, there's a hole in your soul. Like, that's what you're for. Yeah, you're probably right. Those guys are the ones making this happen. That sucks. They're not even the ones making money.
Yeah. I've also heard that the reason companies might do this is because it is a strategy to basically get employees to quit without them having to use severance advantages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
that makes sense.
It's like to downsize and do it cheaper than if they actually would fire them.
Yeah, and then the problem is that all that work just gets lumped onto the people who actually did come back and they quit anyway because it's too much. And like I don't understand this, but maybe that's why I'm not in business. Maybe that's why I never became a middle manager.
Yeah, well, it's
God.
Then you just rehire and just consolidate the tasks that everyone did. You just make one person do what 3 people were doing before. So, and they would never know because those people are gone.
Look, man, I've worked in offices, and like the best managers are the ones who can they trust you. They go, here's what you need to do, and then they just leave you alone. The
Yeah.
worst ones are the ones you're talking about. We need some more team meetings, guys. Let's all, I know you just woke up, but let's have a big team meeting where I'm going to tell you about a bunch of shit that's not even your job
Oh
and
my
you don't care
God.
about. You better stay awake or you're in trouble.
Remember working retail,
this
they
is
do
the
that. They'd be
worst.
like, here's what our store did for sales for the week. And it's like, I don't care. Like, just
Yeah,
let
you don't
me
make any
stock
money
the
off
shelves
that.
and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. The amount of times I'd be like, none of this matters to me. Don't tell me any of this shit at all. This is for that. I know the guy that there's one guy who really wants to be in the office. He's over there. Go talk to him. He loves this shit. That guy sucks. Everybody hates him.
I find that the
I've
best
been there.
bosses tend to be the ones that are able to and willing to do your job just as well as you can. Like if
Yeah.
they tend to be the best because they just know like what problems that you would run into. So they just can lead you better.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because a lot of companies now hire from outside. And so you don't get that person. You get somebody who knows how to tell you how to do your job, but not how to actually do your job, which is just shitty.
Yeah.
So,
Who's-
oh well.
Speaking of shitty, we got more Ubisoft news.
No,
Yeah.
I want them to do better. Now I feel like they're the underdog. I'm cheering for them now. I never thought
No,
the day would
man.
come.
See, you thought they were the
Yeah.
underdog. Turns out they're the blunder dog.
Yeah, they're getting sued.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Oh god! What the hell happened this time?
So a privacy company is suing them because one of their clients was apparently trying to play Far Cry Primal offline, but the game would not let them without an internet connection and would just block the game from launching. It would not stop. Even though technically you can play the game offline, it intentionally stops you from playing it if you do not have an internet connection. And
So they got sued for that?
they're getting sued because they found out that the complainant rather discovered that the game transmits a significant volume of data during gameplay sessions. This is a quote from Cyber
Oh.
Insider.
Uh-oh.
We're at for just 10 minutes of gameplay, there's 150 DNS queries initiated and data being transmitted to Google, Amazon, Datadog in just like 10 minutes. And the complainants are saying that this violates Article 80, parentheses 1, of the GDPR, and that Ubisoft's practices are unnecessary and opaque. Basically, they're too vague on what kind of data they are collecting and why they are collecting it in the first place. And Ubisoft has responded and just basically said, like, look at our end user policy. And this privacy firm is saying that is still not clear enough and you are not meeting legal standards. So they're being sued for a little over $100 million over this.
Hmm.
Like, where do you get that
100
number from?
million?
Who's-
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that game is 10 fucking years old. Why is this just now happening?
I don't know.
Somebody really likes to play Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, someone really wants to play and they don't want to be online when they play it. It's,
No
it's
one must
based
know
on the
I'm a
revenue.
caveman.
That's where that number comes from. But one of the big dinks on the case too is that apparently the game verifies like that you own it through Steam because the player owns it through Steam. And Ubisoft is saying that the reason you have to play online is because they had to make sure that you actually own it. And the privacy firm saying that's unnecessary because we already go through the store that does that for you. So if you do not provide a way to play this offline, then there's a violation here because you do not need this for what you say you need it for. And that's kind of like it's not contractually necessary for you to be getting this information for the reasons that you say that you need them for.
Man, I swear, wasn't there a game we were talking about a while back that does something similar where it makes like 10 queries a second? That's why I could be wrong. I can't remember.
There's so many games that do this. What do you guys think about like games tracking like what you do and stuff?
Why? What? It does nothing for the player. It is strictly to sell the information to third parties.
Yeah, it was
That's
just
all
limited.
it is for.
Whatever it lets me like it was just limited. Like I don't want like
Yeah, I
no,
try
you
to
can't
opt out of
force it. You just
everything.
have limited if it has to happen.
There's only
Well,
like one game series that I've seen use it to like actually a benefit, and that's the Persona series, but that's about it.
what does the Persona series do?
Gathers daily stuff and what choices people have made.
Yeah, so they track what they've done, and then they send that out to the player base. As in Persona 5, it's called their like Thieves Den or something, and you can see what other players have done that day.
This is a little bit different because like the information you're talking about is the stuff that they do in game. The information that like companies are actually checking, if you read their end user agreements, is much more personal. Like they are like if you look at, I think 2K, their end user agreement or terms of service, like they will be tracking who you are and like your phone number, like literally all of your personal information. They say, if you want to play our game, we need access to it. And what's worse about it is like you could buy, this actually happened to me. I played Civilization 5 or 6, one of the two. I bought it like a long time ago and I just played the game. It was fine. And I loaded up years later and they changed their terms of service to include that I had to give them access to like any type of like personal information like that in order to play their game. And I was like, I'm not doing that. No. And it won't let me play the game anymore. I'm just not allowed to play the game unless I agree. Now I ended up just skipping the launcher so I could just play the game anyway. But still, like that's fucked up that I can purchase something and then years down the road, the company can decide, well, you actually can't use this thing until you give me, you know, access to your full name and phone number and email and let me take information from that you receive and use and sell to other companies that I want to.
A study, I just looking up some stuff real quick. A study from 2 years ago states that Call of Duty Mobile, Candy Crush, and 8-Ball Pool are the most data hungry collecting games available. They take apparently up to 17 different types of data. None of it really pertaining to the game itself.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like how much data is harvested, and they just companies just sell it, and no one really cares at all about this because they're like, well, my data's everywhere anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. You know, how do you protect yourself when everything does it? And on top of that, most of it is really just used for targeted advertising. Yeah. So it's not like they're not stealing your social security number and, you know, sending it to some scammer. They're just trying to sell you things that you will probably buy, which is gross, but it's not.
It's not inherently malicious. Or
it
like
kind of is. It's kind of creepy and weird, but it's not harmful. In a way that's going to really affect your life.
Yeah, it's not something that you would like notice and be like, oh no, because I did this now. Oh, everything's wrong. If only I didn't buy Civilization 5. That's not gonna
need a LifeLock because you got advertised a mattress down the street. You know, it's not that serious, but still, it is serious. It is a problem. It's basically false advertising so you can get advertised to more, you know, because not everybody thinks about this shit at all. Barely people do.
Well, it's once it starts getting into the way of you actually accessing the stuff that you paid for, that for me is where it gets like, no, this is fucking
absolutely
stupid. Like, that's why this lawsuit, I don't mind. Yeah, that's dumb that this person can't play this game that is able to be played offline because it's a single player game. He must be connected to the internet because it has to harvest his data no matter what. Like, that's ridiculous. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
I remember what we were talking about with, I think it was Denuvo. Something with Denuvo, just like constantly trying to let the game know, whatever game we were talking about, that you were that it wasn't like a pirated copy or something. I can't.
I remember it was something about.
Was it Vanguard?
It was Vanguard.
It was like slowing games down because it was constantly checking to make sure you were a real user.
I think Denuvo has that issue too, but Vanguard definitely did it as well.
Denuvo does too. Yeah. Yeah. It is also terrible.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think de novo is extremely difficult. I don't think anyone actually has been able to crack de novo.
Actually, I think somebody kind of did.
Oh shit! What do you mean?
If I can find it, but I remember something about. Oh, here it is. So, Hogwarts Legacy runs off of de novo, and somebody cracked it, and so he created a tool so that other games could potentially get that de novo cracked.
Oh. Another reason to not have de novo.
So I think the fall of de novo is slowly coming. Because I noticed it was taken out of Final Fantasy 16 as well.
I think everybody hates de novo.
It's an enemy, dude.
That's the one. Everybody seems to hate it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like beyond any like just terrible ways to actually implement it that are on the developer side, because I haven't heard of anyone actually being able to remove de novo once it's been like encrypted with the game. And you said who did this?
I don't know the name, but the game was Hogwarts Legacy, which uses de novo, at least on its PC port. I don't know if it's on the PlayStation, Xbox ports, because whatever. But I know at least on the PC side, he cracked de novo. And he's making a tool to attempt to help others crack it as well.
I mean, I'm seeing this article. This is a thing. I'd have to read through the whole thing to really grasp it, but something about basically it analyzes processes, including those started by de novo, and can help developers remove them. Emphasis on help. This is not the ultimate cracking tool that will unlock every game to piracy. This is from 80 level, I think.
Oh, yeah.
LV.
So
yeah.
beyond like specific games, figuring out there's no like overall, like this removes de novo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know de novo is very difficult for people to remove. But it looks like it's not as possible. I think I found what you're talking about, Sleepy. You spent 5 months reverse engineering, bypassing the DRM on Hogwarts Legacy. That's pretty crazy.
It's a commitment.
Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much everything I had.
Ooh, well, thank you very much. Tsun, did you bring anything today?
A few things. One of the first things.
What you got? I like your news, Tsun.
One of the first things. I don't know. I just like to look for like interesting things. Like I don't know. So like one of the first things I had I thought was pretty neat is so apparently they've already discovered some old mods from the original Oblivion will work with the remaster, like the remake, because apparently the way they've done it is they've updated systems and stuff, but it uses Unreal to upgrade the visuals, but builds on like the old framework of the original. So some of these mods still function with a bit of like tinkering around. I guess a guy tried. One curious modder just decided he's going to dust off a simple mod that added late game armor to your prison cell at the start of the game. And when they tested it, it worked. But what he had to do was go in and manually update plugin text files.
Oh,
okay.
So yeah, he went in and fiddled with that a bit, and then apparently, yeah, once he got it set up, it would just add like, I think it's specifically the late game members like Daedric armor, but yeah, it will work. And now modders are like searching around for other mods they can kind of like dust off and see if they work.
That's wild, because I actually just watched a video about Devil May Cry 5, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where some guy was working on a mod for Nero to be able to switch his hand to whichever other one that he wanted. Because the way the game works is you have to like use it first, and then it switches.
Yeah,
or you like destroy it, and it switches
loading
the next
a magazine.
Yeah, yep. And he was making a mod to be able to switch it to the one that you wanted. And I think he worked on it for like a couple months or something. And then he realized that there's actually already support to do that in the original game's code. That's what it was originally going to be. And he just had to turn it on.
You know
what's just wasted his time.
You know what's funny about that is I just saw a thing about Devil May Cry 5 today too. And apparently one of the DLC hands you can get for Nero is like a jerk off joke. And it's just a hand that glows green and opens and closes and it vibrates. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Apparently it provides you with like a minor static healing boost or something, and that's its only use.
You know what? I don't mind. It's fucking fun.
The description says something like it's great for stress relief. And you're like, all right, I see what you're doing out here.
Yeah,
it's chill.
It's pretty interesting. Another thing I found in line, you'll probably like this, is because I know, like me, you like Star Wars, and I believe you like XCOM, right? You enjoy.
I did, yeah. Besides like that stint that I had with it, which I think we talked about on
DLC
here.
accidentally being turned on.
It being turned on, I find it utter bullshit. Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like for like your future runs and not set on by default, but they turn it on by default anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But no,
is this about this new Star Wars game?
Zero Company?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, go ahead.
I did not know about this until I found this article on Rock Paper Shotgun where I was like, that's a thing? That sounds cool. Star Wars game is set in the twilight of the Clone Wars. And
it's literally like the same theme as XCOM 2, where you're like you lead like a shadow squad that's doing all this like undercover stuff, and you're like fighting the war underneath the war, I think is like what they say.
Yeah,
it looks really good, and I think it's co-developed with Respawn as well.
It's Respawn and Bit Reactor, led by former XCOM devs.
Yeah, dude, I'm very excited for that.
So yeah, when I read all that, I was like, oh, that sounds fucking awesome.
What I'm excited for too is your character you are going to be able to customize, is what I've heard. And
yes,
you can play as like different aliens
right
and
here,
stuff too.
It's you'll be able to build up your own base and do spy things like gathering intelligence. On top of that, you'll be able to make and customize your own squad of authored Star Wars characters.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm just worried because I think it's published by EA.
I haven't seen anything on the publisher here, but
that's the only thing.
I know EA's been the Star Wars publisher for
it can still be good.
A fat minute.
Yeah,
it can still be good. I mean, the Jedi Survivor games
I'm just
are great.
worried. I'm gonna load up the game and it'll start up at the store.
I love that. That's just like the general Star Wars thing now. It could still be good. Don't worry about it. The new movie, the new show, the new game, it might be good.
I have more hope for the fucking games than the movies now. Like,
I think I'm just done with Star Wars entirely.
Well, no, because again, the last Star Wars game I played, I think was Jedi Survivor. Is that the second one? It was the second one in that like Souls-like series, and I played through that. I beat it. I found it fucking great. Like that game was solid.
There are the Knights of the Old Republic, obviously. There was like ones on Nintendo 64, maybe.
I think
I think one of the second levels you got to fly around and like or maybe it was the first level. You got to trip the giant robot with your wires.
I know
Shadow
what you mean.
of the Empire.
I know exactly what you mean.
I played that first level over and over again. I like that. You could like fly into other ships. Yeah, that one was fun. There's been some really good ones.
Battlefront's great. As janky as it's been.
The first Battlefront.
To an extent, like even the second one I had fun with, even though, it had its rocky
Some of the new ones or the old ones
stuff, but
I'm talking about the one on PlayStation 2.
Oh, that's the old one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. Yeah, going on the enemy ship in space and like blowing shit up in there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those games were dope.
I love those.
Isn't there mods that let you do it like play it solo now? Pretty sure there is.
What do you mean solo?
I think you always could.
Did you?
There's like a conquest mode.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's like Conquest. Yeah, Conquest is pretty cool. Even like the newer Battlefield too. I think the thing that surprised me the most about it was
Battlefront?
At the time, at least. Yeah, like the newer by DICE. The quality of like all the sounds and the graphics, it like felt like you were in a Star Wars movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. Wild. I remember when that first Battlefront game came out, and I was like, "What the hell? This is crazy."
Is that the one that caught all the flack?
The second one of the
well,
newer
the second
generation
one
did.
The second one.
The
Okay,
first
that's
one
the
was
first game I
considered
like.
good.
That was the first game I like totally fell for like all the journalism where I was like, they did what? And I had a copy and it was never opened. I was like, I'm not playing this because of what they did.
The more modern Battlefront 2?
The one where you like had to play 3 years to unlock Lord Vader without spending money.
I think that was the second one.
It might. They changed that obviously, but
The pay to play
Eventually.
system.
They say, yeah, we want you to feel like you earned it.
By spending
Now
money.
get in there.
Yeah, I remember that now.
I will say I think it was it's been obviously a while now, but I think I was the most recent one to play that. And like
Ever?
well, no,
Ever.
like out of our group. Fucking ding ding. But,
someone is going to be the last person to ever play that game.
Well, obviously, but like no, out of our group, I think I was like the one who played it the most recently, which is like still years ago now, but with all the changes and stuff, and it still had like that great feel. Especially especially like playing in the era, because that one I don't remember the first one did it, but like it jumps between like different eras of like this, the wars and stuff. But anything that involved the fucking droids, I love playing with because I love hearing the stupid droids be stupid.
I like the droids.
I never understood that. Why they're never a threat? What's the point of them? I'm sorry, this is not video games. I'm going to the movies where I'm like, what are these? The droids are coming. Oh no, we'll just slay 1,000,000 of them. Doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. There's
Like,
just something
all
about like these are supposed to be like soldier droids, and they're so fucking goofy. I really like it.
I don't know. I don't understand the Star Wars
They have
universe.
this,
Things don't make
they
sense.
have this weird sass to them. That's just great.
All right. What else you got?
So the last thing I had is one that I actually ended up like looking into more stuff from. But so what caught my eye, it has to do with the original creator of Fallout, Tim Kaine, I think his name is.
Mhm.
So apparently like in like an interview or just like a video he did, he talked about, because he has a bunch of stories about like working on games and stuff obviously, but back when Interplay originally had Fallout and he left and they kept it, when he left they told him to destroy everything they have on its development. So there was like no paper trail other, or they would have everything. It's a business thing, right?
Yeah, to make sure that like no one else steals it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But apparently 2 years afterwards they came back to him and were like, do you still have anything? And he was like, I thought it was like a trick to just like get me in trouble. So he told them, he's just honest, like, no, I got rid of it. And then they were like, well, that sucks because oops, we lost it. Like they lost they lost like original code for like the role-playing system. They lost different like code versions. They lost early design notes.
When was this? When did this happen?
It doesn't exactly say in the timeline, but it was just him like recounting, because this would have had been, well, actually this would have been like a while ago, because it was back when Interplay still had Fallout.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, apparently it's not like the only thing that company is like lost.
Well, I think we were talking about it earlier in a previous episode, how the Destiny lawsuit, how that one author is suing Bungie, right, over copyright infringement. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They forced Bungie to admit that they do not have any of the files for all of the DLC that they got rid of, such as Forsaken. They literally do not have it anymore.
So they couldn't even implement it.
Yeah, like even if they wanted to, it's just gone, because they got a court order, a subpoena for like all the original content that happened for the Red War and stuff, which is no longer in the game. And Bungie said like we don't have it anymore. Like we cannot actually comply with that order.
Yeah, and so I found here, so among the casualties of what Interplay lost were, again, the GURPS code, which was what would later turn to the special system that game uses, like your stats. Possibly the original artwork was also lost. And then here it says, perhaps most tragically, which thinking about it would be, they lost the clay heads used to animate the conversations in the originals.
Oh.
Which, like, those would be like collector's items, dude.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just sitting somewhere. So
Who knows? They
someone's
lost
desk.
them. They fucking lost them. But
And these are for the original Fallout.
yeah, the original 2 Fallouts. Or whichever ones he would have been a part of.
Did you guys ever play those?
I have tried.
I know you
I
have.
do want to, but I know you have.
God.
Like,
You got the game like
extensively.
memorized.
Yeah.
I fucking Fallout 2. Oh my God. It is one of the greatest games ever made. I don't care. I will fight anyone. That game is like burned
Which,
into
like,
my
you probably
fucking
know what I'm talking about
brain.
then. Like all those heads they used to animate the conversations, those are gone now. They lost them.
I mean, I wouldn't have expected them to stick around for 30 years.
Well, no, but like even like it seems like they lost them pretty soon after the game was done.
Yeah. That sucks, man.
Which
I love those.
which also led to the
should
whole
go
thing.
play it
Apparently
too.
that's like a thing that happens. I mean, well, you just brought up Lionel with the Destiny thing. Companies tend to lose it. But then this led me down a thing where, because near the end of the article, it mentions how there's actually seemingly been an uptick in companies making more of an effort to like kind of preserve shit. And
Yeah.
And this
I
led
mean,
me
like the
to-
latest thing right now has been to like remake and remaster
and
games.
so that led me to
Yeah.
reading another
Save
article that
everything.
connected to this, because the way it reads is the example they gave was an example of PlayStation using mine shafts to store old copies of Crash Bandicoot in, which I was like, what? And I looked, and this led to a thing. Apparently, PlayStation, it's not just
It's
Crash
very
Bandicoot. They're
fitting.
using cold storage vaults they're constructing in mine shafts to save its 30-year history.
It's sharp gold.
They have so far saved they've saved at least 200 million files and 650 terabytes of stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and dude, this
And you fuckers said my copy of Concord wouldn't be worth anything.
this is crazy. This is so crazy to me. Like, so, and they even have someone who came and actually like talked about it. What was it? Okay, a senior build engineer at PlayStation named Garrett Fredley gave a talk, and he explained it like this: the company has 2 staging vaults located in Las Vegas and Liverpool that feature fast SSD storage, where developers upload their files, and that information then gets transferred to tape backups, which are then transported to the real vault situated in an undisclosed location, and only certain people have access to that vault.
Oh my
Tape
god, why?
backups.
Why?
Yeah. I was like, this is crazy, but like also I thought it was really cool they're going to this length to preserve like all this stuff that a lot of us have probably very fond memories of. Like,
Well,
that's crazy, man.
I think there's
It is.
I think there's a couple things, like there is a games preservation. They were actually fighting with some people. Gosh, I wish I remember this. I want to say in Austria, maybe. There's like a museum type place that's like the history of games, and it's got like every
Yeah.
board game, every cartridge, everything. And there was a thing where they were talking about ROMs, I believe we were talking about when it came up, and
Yeah.
how they were being told to destroy their ROMs or something, even though they're games that weren't made anymore. So it's like you're just destroying history at this point, something like that. Yeah, no, game preservation is huge, and it's funny because like in the grand scheme of thing, like games could be wiped off the face of the earth and nothing would really, I mean, aside from the obvious people lose their jobs, but like humanity as a whole wouldn't be affected. But like
I
my
could
nostalgia
honestly,
and memories, like I'd be sad.
well, it's kind of like
Ultimately, it is
A lot of
culture.
people would.
it's culture, and it's also like, I mean, say what you want, like video games are a form of art.
Oh
and
yeah,
like-
I agree
like-
100%.
They're like massive teamworks of art, and like to have that just be gone, that's fucking sad, man. Like,
Yeah.
so I think like a more of an effort to like preserve stuff is pretty cool. Like it even it says their vaults right now include everything from the latest PS5 builds to old PlayStation 1 games, and the example they gave is like Ark the Lad from 1994. Like,
Well, that's a name I never thought I'd hear again.
yeah, well, I know, right? When I read that, I was like, oh my god, it's like holy shit. I reckon the lad did.
Yeah.
No,
I just thought that was really cool to like
that is
to
really
read
cool.
on.
No. One thing I will say, if anybody, I know I say I love Fallout 2. The beginning area is where everybody quits because it's actually trash. Yeah, it's trash. Like it's really slow and it's really boring. You have to. I remember that I used to make a bunch of builds with the stat points and like things, and then I would save them outside of the the first area, like I would get through the first area, save, and then make another one, and then get through the first area, just so I never had to go through that again.
And it's kind of interesting because like of course in the later games they kind of made that like, you know, because like in Fallout 3 and 4, and well, I think Elder Scrolls does it too, where it just asks you now when you're leaving the tutorial area, like, is there anything you want to change?
Yeah, games have evolved from punching.
It just I thought it was like that's like a cool like I just hearing you mention that, and like you're, I guess you could say now kind of old school way of doing it. It's like, oh, that was actually like that's like an evolution of video gaming to see. Like they actually looking back at it is that they actually like fixed that.
Yeah, good. It was not I can easily say that is the worst part of the entire game is the very beginning, and that's a bad place to have the worst part of your game. Dude,
it's like trying to recommend Black Mirror where the first episodes people want to start and that's the worst one to fucking start on.
I don't know. I think Striking Vipers is the best thing to start on.
That was unfortunate when you recommended it to the person.
Yeah, unfortunate for no, I got a story out of it.
I don't
even remember that guy's name. So everything was positive
you also
for me.
Got strange looks. Like, what does he recommend?
Man, he got a story out of it too. This weird guy at work.
I recommend this episode. There's 2 dudes in the game. Fucking.
Yeah, I don't remember him, but maybe he was gay. I don't know. Maybe he was hitting on me, and I just didn't realize.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
that. All right. Well, cool. Is that your
that's all I got? Yeah.
All right. I don't expect Sleepy to have anything.
I have
one
at least.
Oh, do you have a thing, Sleepy?
I do.
What you got for us?
So I at least think this is interesting, but Forza 5 Horizon just released for PlayStation today. And for those of you who don't know, Forza is Xbox's Gran Turismo.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, it's a racing game.
So that's been like Xbox's racing game, and now it's on PlayStation.
Oh, so they lost exclusivity.
I don't know whether or not they lost exclusivity or not, because I just saw it was like a trailer. I haven't found any real information because I've just been focused on this. But yeah, like I just thought it was interesting that more Xbox studios seem to be branching out off just Xbox exclusive.
Well, yeah, because right now their business model seems to be like get our games everywhere. And they even had like a whole campaign about that no one understood.
Oh my god, this is an Xbox.
Is this an Xbox?
Fuck that thing.
No, that's my Xbox. And her name is Sony.
That's my Xbox. Its name is a baseball.
Even this PlayStation's an Xbox.
I'm gonna fuck it.
It totally makes sense that they're trying to get rid of console exclusives, because
feel like
from their point of view, like it's actually a detriment at this point for them.
I was gonna say, I feel like exclusivities are kind of going out the door nowadays because there's more money in just not having them.
Depends on the company. For Xbox, it totally isn't, but for like Nintendo, like that is their strategy.
Nintendo's like one of the only ones I could think of that would still.
Well,
really
that's what you're saying. Still, I mean, now before, like it worked. You would go, I really want that game. It's only on PlayStation. Got to get a PlayStation. Yeah. And I just miss out on whatever's on Xbox because I didn't really like their lineup anyway. So fuck them. And then I become a PlayStation fanboy and get on the internet and yell at people.
I never did that yelling at people thing. I was always just like, you guys have your games. There are some I'm interested in, and if I ever get a chance to play them, cool. Like,
yeah. But with the spread of like crossplay and just every game being on like every platform all the time. I mean, we're gonna have Cyberpunk on the Nintendo Switch, which is just wild to think about.
Yeah,
It's
it is
kinda
crazy. Switch
weird.
2, right?
Switch 2, yeah. Sorry. It wouldn't surprise me if Sony also goes the same route. They kind of already are. They're putting stuff on PC now and everything.
Yeah, which I am really cool with.
They've always
Same.
kind of been behind the curve. I remember this was a huge problem when Minecraft was first on the console and they started introducing crossplay with Minecraft. And Sony you could not crossplay with when they started doing that. And it was only because Sony's like, nah, we don't want those Xbox players on our server.
It's just
Like, it was really weird. Like they ended up being the guys looking over the fence at everyone having fun.
And they decided,
playing
fuck it.
Minecraft with each other.
We'll join.
Yeah. They
It's like
had
them
to.
Microsoft and Apple, or not Android and Apple. Android will want to work with Apple, but Apple won't.
Yeah, and they are slowly changing their tune. They're just behind the times. They won't even make freaking Bloodborne 2. I don't know what they're doing.
So that I do have a bit of info on.
do we get a sneak peek?
So
Sleepy Peak.
No, because they're doing Duskbloods.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
instead of doing it like they did with Bloodborne, From Software, that's still their IP instead of Sony's. From what I saw in an interview, which makes me think that Sony is keeping that on PlayStation because it's their IP. So it's not up to From Software.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, no,
it is
absolutely
owned
not.
by Sony. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I think even Miyazaki has said he wants to do Bloodborne 2. Like he's totally fine with it.
Yeah, he
but-
has.
Yeah, but they just
Why would they not? It would make $1 billion.
Yeah, I don't
I-
understand it either.
I think it's just it might get stuck on the PlayStation because that's their like IP. So
It would still make like $1 bajillion.
I know.
fair.
I think that's what what did I say? I said when games become like $100 a pop, that's when they're gonna be like Bloodborne 2. Now you have to buy our PlayStation 7
Well,
and
there's-
you're gonna get PlayStation or Bloodborne 2 for fucking $120.
I mean,
You're gonna do it.
technically, we're getting there with the Nintendo 2 Switch 2 prices.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think Strider's theory, if I remember right, was he was thinking that Bloodborne 2 is just going to be the next it's going to be used to introduce the next PlayStation. So they're going to bundle those together. So when the new PlayStation comes out, it's going to have Bloodborne 2 and then you just you're like,
I don't want to buy another PlayStation.
Give me Bloodborne 2 now.
I know, I don't even use the one that I have, the PS5 that I
No.
have.
Yeah, and you spent $1,000 to get that thing or something like that.
No, I didn't. I didn't spend
You
$1,000.
gave Fliz many monies.
He killed a man.
Okay. But not for a PlayStation.
No, this was just for fun.
Yeah. I just get bored.
It's the
I'm just like,
normal
man, what
house.
should I do? Just my PlayStation's just sitting up there.
Just a rebuttal.
All right. I mean, it is kind of cool that we're kind of. Do you guys remember when you'd be like, "Oh, well, I want to play Call of Duty with my friend, but they got it on Xbox or something. I got a PlayStation, so we can't really."
No.
Like,
No, I
No.
can't really
Yeah.
tell you the last. I remember doing it like that, but I can't remember the last time because it's been so long.
well, that's what I'm saying. Is like we kind of live. I guess maybe it's partially being PC gamers, where like we don't have to pay like a subscription fee. We can play with whoever. Crossplay is everywhere. Discord's on everything. This is kind of nice right now.
Oh, don't worry. It's already going downhill. Discord's going public
I
soon.
know.
Well,
Oh
Soon.
no! Stop! The ads are everywhere.
yeah. They're going public.
Oh well. I guess that's pretty much it. The only thing that I was gonna mention that I thought was kind of cool. I don't really care about Oblivion. I've never been a huge fan of that series. But they left in the infamous dialogue bloopers from they left them
Oh, yeah,
in
no,
there.
all the dialogue
Did they?
sounded like it sounded
Yep.
very. It's nostalgic because it's I'm stuttering. It's exactly how I remember it. That's what I was trying to say. God damn, man.
Well, I guess
We'll
they
get there.
not only did they do that, they actually intentionally left a lot of the bugs and exploits in the game too. Like they're actually left in there. for you to do so you can do them again if you did in the original game. There are actual bugs in the game, but there are ones that are replicas of the original Oblivion.
It's funny. It'd be funny if they just kind of turned the brightness down and just re-released it, and that was all they did. And they're like, no, the bugs are still there. A lot of the stuff, it's nostalgia. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, the game looks really good. I wish it wasn't $60, but it is free on Game Pass. So
yeah,
if
that's
you're
what I'm
thinking about
playing on
trying
Game
it,
Pass.
yeah, try it on Game Pass. See if you like it.
My lizard man Skrunkle slinging spells everywhere.
I've heard people who said that like the colors were really washed out in the game.
That was our friend Nate.
Oh, did he say that on
He
Discord?
He said one of the only complaints he's seen is that, but I mean, I've been playing it and I find it pretty colorful. Maybe some people feel it's not as vibrant. I don't know.
The reason I found out why that was a thing is because there were leaked images of the game, and I guess the images that came out were very low resolution, and also they were very dark too. They were.
They were basing that opinion on leaked screenshots and not actual stuff in the game. Oh, dude, fuck off.
Yeah, they were leaked screenshots of the game, I believe. I saw a post about the colors for the game because I looked into it a bit, and when you actually look at the gameplay trailer and the actual gameplay, it looks really good. So if that was stopping you from trying it out, that's not a problem.
I've been enjoying it.
There's nothing. If you want to play, like you said, everything, it's hard to not recommend something that's on Game Pass. It's like $1 or $15. That's for like stuff that's $70 now. Like, dude, just Game Pass it.
Some people are stubborn.
There's little details in it too that I was having fun with. Like at the start of the game, there's a specific like, I think in the original, I don't know if it was always called a goblin witch, but it's like a spellcasting goblin that has a staff you can get that shoots lightning.
Yeah,
it's like a goblet head on a stick, and I just kept swinging my character around because it would make the mouth fucking like hang and open and close and stuff. I'm just like, I'm just like, this is stupid. But it's like they didn't even have to give that like jiggle physics, but they did. Just like little details like that. I was like, I appreciate this. It's so dumb.
All right then. I think that's it. Are we good?
I think so.
I'm good.
As I know.
All right.
We did.
In that case, thank you all very much for listening. Thank you very much for joining us, Sleepy.
Thank you for having me.
Do you still stream? And if so, where can they catch you?
I do not stream right now. I'm going to eventually pick that up when I finish college, which will be in a week. But you can find me at SleepyGamer Live on Twitch, and hopefully that will get started back up here soon.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again for joining us. That's episode 45. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the video or leave us 5 stars on Apple or Spotify. We would appreciate the fuck out of that. I'll give you a kiss. I'll send it to you in the mail.
Ooh, like an actual chocolate kiss.
No.
Just ruined his
that's a line. That's a line you won't cross.
No chocolate kisses.
Only
not
saliva swapping. No chocolate.
Only a big wet envelope.
Blood samples, sure.
It's like the Idol PSP where they had like the lipstick kiss marks on tape or something.
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll bring that secret to the next episode. If you have any questions or comments, please send us an email at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com. And that's pretty much it. Tell your grandma about us. I'm sure she cares a lot about Oblivion.
One does.
Oh, that joke works 2 ways.
That's awful. God damn it. Oh my God.
I was gonna say it's possible at this point that someone's grandparents could reasonably actually have played Oblivion.
Oh, absolutely. There's look, there's streamers on Twitch who are like 80 years old. I
my
look
God.
forward to that.
That
I'm
you
ready.
talking like that veteran sniper guy that plays like Battlefield and stuff?
Dude, there's old grandmas. There's
was
all
gonna
kinds
say.
of stuff. I got some friends on Twitch who are like old as fuck. I want to be them. I want to be on Social Security. Only my arms work. I'm all drugged up and I'm playing Minecraft. I'm ready. I'm there. Put me in,
That
coach.
sounds like a
He's got the morphine
Time.
buff.
All right, boys, I'm going in. I crank up the fucking IV drip.
arthritis can't stop me now.
All right. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
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 Bye.